found a bear. I found a bear in my garage. Hey team, happy Friday. Just a similar video to that one of Wednesday for those of you who saw it. So Wednesday's video, for those of us that didn't see it, was trying to attend to that discomfort in the front of the hip. Some claim to label it as a pinching sensation or ran out of room in the hip joint sensation. Basically, when you're in a really deep state of hip flexion, so for most of us that would be very bottom of a squat, they're getting that discomfort in the front of the hip. So similar to that video, when you're in a deep state of hip flexion, so when we're in that bottom position of the front, if you're not someone that's suffering from discomfort in the front of the hip, but you are suffering from discomfort in and around the groin region, then this video is for you. We're going to go about it in the same way that we did on Wednesday video. So you're going to do some kind of distraction work in that you're trying to create space in the hip joint, and then we're going to try and use the tissue that's probably bothering you in that area. So same setup as the other day in that I have a really thick resistance band and I've anchored that to an immovable object. Also the same in that where I want you to position the band is pretty much as high as you can get on your leg, like right up in the hip. Now, different to the other day, watch out now, let's go take your bunny over there. Now you're gonna pull yourself away from that object again, so there's loads of tension in this band pulling you towards the anchored object. Now I want you to be perpendicular to the band. So the other day we were facing away from the band. Today we're going to be on a 90-degree angle. So at the moment I'm attending to my left hip. So I like to dissect this into 4 different movements. So right now the band again is pulling my leg, particularly my femur, away from my hip, out of my hip socket this direction. Okay? So like I said, I tried to go about it in 4 different movements. Those 4 movements are hip hinge. So sticking my butt out, hinging at the hip. You should feel this tissue stretching here. Then everything you feel stretch, you want to contract to abduct the knee. So knee goes out. Hopefully you just saw that without Millie's very bumming way. And then you're going to come back in and extend the hips. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that would be 1 rep. Hinge, abduct, come back in, extend the hip. So I go through 10 repetitions of that on each side. Then what I would do is I would do that Copenhagen plank, which I have shown you a few, can't get my words right today, a few videos back. So this one, you're basically holding a side plank with your inner thigh. So depending on where you're at in terms of regression, progression, the regressed version, you place our knee on the bench, then we're on the floor from our elbow. Watch out, Mills, watch out, no one can see. And then we're just holding this position here. So make sure when you're holding this position, your hips aren't flexed. You want your hips straight. So you're squeezing your glutes to straighten the hips. So I'm as streamlined as possible and just holding this position. I'd say 20 to 25 seconds. If that's particularly easy for you, you can extend the lever and anchor from the ankle rather than the knee. Same idea though, so you're looking for a streamlined state throughout the body. Again, make sure the hip's not flexed. You want the hip extended and holding this position for 20 to 25 seconds. So much like the video on Wednesday, I go about this for 2 rounds. If you're someone that's feeling that discomfort in the groin in the bottom position of a squat, so deep states of hip flexion, so I do your 10 distraction on each side, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 1 rep, 10 times, and then your Copenhagen plank hold, 20 to 25 seconds on each side. Then revisit your squat. How's the bottom position? You got a bit more freedom there? Has that pinching sensation gone? Is it more comfortable to sit in that deep position of a squat? So another way to test it out, I'm big on testing something out, trying exercise, and then retesting it to see that that is indeed the exercise that's going to help your issue. So before you do any of it, on Wednesday I said, can you bring your knee to your chest? And that's when you experience that discomfort in the front of the hip. So this one to test would be similar. We just gesture the knee up to the chest and then across the body. So if when your knee comes up and across the body, you're getting that discomfort in the groin region, then yeah, you got to try these two out. Try them out for 2 rounds, like I just said. Lay back down, pull your knee up, pull it across your body. How is it? You got less discomfort? That's pretty much it. So let me know how you go. And like I said on Wednesday, if you're someone that's suffering from any kind of injury, I mean, you know, I'm not a physio, but I've had lots of experience with clients, all kinds of clients, general pop, athletes, you know, anyone. I've seen people through some pretty bad injuries. So my knowledge of injuries and how to rehab them and how to prehab you from running into that injury again is pretty good. So please send me a text or a message or comment on this video if you're suffering from an injury that you've had for a while now and you can't seem to figure out what it is or how best to fix it. I want to know, I want to help, so let me know. Anyway, have a great weekend, team. It's good to be back, and I'll see you next week on Wednesday. Ciao.